What's up, Operation Sports? This is MJK here with another installment of the College Football Revamped update. With this time around, we have an ACC mod, which has just been released this past weekend. And it also includes two independent teams, Army and BYU. So while this is playing, well, in the background, we're going to see all the new uniform combinations that these guys have created. Another really impressive effort on their part. This also includes Notre Dame, as they are a part of the ACC this season, and that's really one of the biggest highlights for me. I'm not even a Notre Dame fan, but once you actually take a look at, and that's towards the end of the video, how different the helmet looks and how the gold shines compared to how it did in the original game, it's truly remarkable stuff. So here is, like I said, the ACC and a couple independent teams. Just going through the uniforms here, and here are some of the highlights from this particular mod. They call this V3. V2 is SEC, and V1 they did some fields and things like that. So I'll just read through the patch notes real quick. It's remarkable how much stuff these guys have done. Updated jerseys for all ACC teams plus independents. I'm not going to bother saying independent anymore, but you get the idea. Updated helmets for all ACC. Updated pants for all ACC. Updated gloves for all ACC. Updated socks for all ACC. Updated fields. Updated stadium decorations. So that's it for the ACC. I shouldn't say that's it. That's a lot of stuff, and it's all really sweet. They also, for me, this is really cool too, as a big-time franchise player. They updated 22 bowl fields and the names. I know they did that previously. So I think in V1 they updated the names. Well, this time they actually updated the fields as well, including the CFP National Championship game, which I have a screenshot of towards the end of this video. Amazing stuff. They updated all neutral site and kickoff games in those fields as well. They updated the cleat brand for all team. However, in the future, the generic ones will be replaced with Jordan in a future update. So I know in V2, I think some of the cleats were a little bit off, but they're fixing everything. They updated the Power 5 championship fields. I saw this for the Pac-12 because I know the stadium is not technically in the game, but they used another model in there to make it look really cool. Updated rivalry, game of the week, and versus logos. So this is another thing that, as a franchise, or I shouldn't say franchise, Dynasty guy, when you scroll through the weekly games in Dynasty, you'll see, regional broadcast, rivalry, that sort of thing, and also the game of the week. But now it'll say College Game Day. So the game of the week now says College Game Day with the Game Day logo. Really, really awesome stuff here. They updated Texas A&M jerseys, which I don't think were yet updated in the V2 for the SEC. Similarly, they added alternate Tennessee smoky gray uniforms and helmets, and added Ole Miss powder blue jersey. Whew, that's a lot of stuff in this update. So as we're going through around Louisville, who has a couple really sweet uniforms here. Look at that black cherry one. That's really neat. And it's just really impressive what these guys have been able to do. I'm hoping to make an upcoming video with one of the main creators of this mod, just to ask him a few questions and get some updates on what's coming down the pipe. They do have a couple other things that they said here. So for future release dates, right now they have all the way out to V10 listed. So this is V3. V4 is going to be, they're taking out some of the independent teams and also Idaho, and replacing them with current teams. So for instance, there's 4 teams. Idaho is becoming Appalachian State. UMass is becoming Georgia Southern. New Mexico State is becoming Charlotte, and UConn is becoming Coastal Carolina. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, why do I care about those teams? Well, if you're a Dynasty player, you do care about those teams, because now you can actually have all of the 10 conferences be represented by the real teams. Prior to this, you had these other teams in there, and you didn't have enough slots because there's 130 teams in college football right now. Well, I guess a few are sitting out, but if this was a regular season. But when the game came out, there were 126. So now by getting rid of some of these other teams that aren't really, independent, and they're not really well known, especially since Idaho's no longer in the D1. So now you can have Appalachian State, Georgia Southern, and Coastal Carolina all go to the Sun Belt. You can have all 10 teams. Prior to that, there were only 7 in the game. And now with Charlotte, you can add them to Conference USA, and you can have the complete set of teams for that too. So now, once this V4 comes out, you're going to be able to have all 10 conferences aligned up perfectly for your upcoming season, which is really cool. And here, we're looking at Notre Dame right here. You can see the gold. You can't really tell how great it really looks in this particular part of the video where you look at the uniforms. It'll really shine later on when we get a little bit deeper in this video in about 2 minutes or so. Pitt right here, I think Pitt is one of the teams that hadn't yet released their jerseys, and that's one of the patch notes that they're going to fix in the upcoming release. Yeah, so V4, and again, these don't have dates associated with them, which I know bothers some people on the Discord, but it is what it is. These guys get it done, and when they do, it's really cool. And then the way they're doing the last 6 is they're breaking out Big 12, Big 10, and Pac-12 into 2 different parts. So V5 is Big 12 Part 1, V6 is Big 12 Part 2, V7, Big 10 Part 1, V8, Big 10 Part 2, which I'm super excited about, the Jordan jerseys from Michigan. And then V9 will be Pac-12 Part 1, and V10 will be Pac-12 Part 2. So a lot to come here, and by the time that happens, you're pretty much going to have a completely modernized game for NCAA 14, which came out, what, over 7 years ago now. Really remarkable. So here we're getting through the end of the jerseys right now. Let me just read a couple more notes before we get to the other part. Yeah, like I said, Pitt and Georgia, they're going to update those uniforms for V4. And Boston College, again, another one they're adding in, and the Syracuse helmet has a little bit of issue with it, but these are all, in my mind, minor things that, you know, we know they're working on, and it's all free, mind you. This is all free. Just, you know, you do a few things to your PS3 or Xbox 360, or you can play on a PS3 emulator on your PC, and you're good to go. All right, so now Wake Forest, also some pretty cool jerseys. And here's the thing I was talking about with Notre Dame. Picture on the left is what the game looked like when it came out. Picture on the right is the update that just came out. Look at the color difference on that. And the way it shines, it almost sparkles in a way, and it just looks amazing. Again, not a Notre Dame fan, but just details like this, really cool. And we'll see it here in action real quick. On the replay, you'll see it. Look at that. I mean, the difference is, it's really remarkable. We'll see just the replay one more time here. Yeah, so seeing all these updated uniforms and fields and helmets, and here's a quick scan of the Miami, one of the coolest uniforms in this whole pack, the Miami uniform, and then Florida State as well. Just look at all the detail they put into these helmets, and it's just, man, it's like an NCAA 14 player's dream. And lastly, here's a picture of the national championship field that I said they added. It's in Miami, and there you go. All right. That's it for now. MJK, hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, hopefully I will have an interview coming up with one of the guys who is a big part of this. And also, I may have a video for updated scheduling that I'm working on right now. So, you know, the 2020 schedule has been crazy, changing all the way up until last week for the Big Ten. So I have that almost done, and hopefully I'll have a video there that how you can update your dynasty with a completely updated and accurate 2020 schedule for your dynasty. All right, guys, MJK, peace out.